इससे पहले हम लोग 1.27 तक पढ़ चुके हैं, 1.27 तक इससे पढ़ेंगे। Language education, depth and evaluation. Language process when the have speaker, when the number of speakers of a language start daily is becomes induced and required consider effort for revise several languages of the world have becomes integrated due to the delayed number of speakers and various that result in the absence of conservation effort and endangered language world becomes extends the death extents of a language also cause the loss of the knowledge incurred or represent in it. Once dead, it is extremely difficult to reverse a language. They are favorite example of language restorance reverse the language dance. Therefore, it is vital to understand the concept of language that in details. Language that refers to a situation when a language has never speak live a language that with the death of its speakers language that is smart of did consent for all various such communication and in institution have casual this rapidly growing phenomena that is also taking in it graph many members language of the world language that can adopt several forms linguistic language inside and activism discuss the following four broad categories of language that category describe certain language that serial number one is when all direction when all the script of a particular language due to some natural climate or are created in a very or generous the language we meet with suddenly language that the language end with the death of the community transmits language the indigenous language of the transmission island and microbes linguistic language of the sun Nisonese and in California have become exceptions as victims of sudden language death. Number 2 radical language death. The second category is radical language death. Her escape stop speaking the language. There are various reasons for these types of endonyms by the speakers. One possible reasons would be identity policy, which forbids speaker to be identified a native instead or for outside in particular curriculums when it's stop using a language the younger one cannot inherit that language with the passing away of the elder greater and gap in the intergeneration transfer the language then with the last speaker. Number 3 growth the language that sometimes language that occurs due to language contact when a minor language comes in contact with a dominant language. The process of gradual language death being according to Victorian folk this category of language death is the most common form. Further adds that the language of the United Kingdom, such as God and Cornish, becomes extinct in a gradual process. Many Native American languages in both the North and South continuously also face extinction in the same process. India is a linguistically diverse country, but several Indian languages are also integrated broadly and belongs of the Western Peripheral group speaker in the broadly and belongs of the Western Peripheral group spoken in the Bryut region of Jammu and Kashmir factors in the UNESCO list. The list of defiantly indigenous language is world not be world to say that both behaviors and values are heading toward a gradually language. The two further category is bottom to top language that these factors to a language and is not in day-to-day use but is limited to the performance of relation factors and reason. The language in this category loses Italian but serves because of their specific role in society. For use as an example, in a similar context in India, the use of Sanskrit has increasingly been restricted to relation process language that has emerged as a phenomenon of global concern. Many organizations are working to identify those languages which are not on the barriers of evasion and take measures to revise the trade. On such organization is UNESCO, which work at the international level. In India, the Central Institute of Indian Language work for the promotion of language, including the ones which are lesser known and underrepresented. In addition, many Indian universities and language departments at the start and center level are also contributing to the revision of integrament and revision of language